Hello, all. Good morning. Salam. How are you all doing? Thank you for joining today's lesson. It's beginner's crochet lesson 7 today for my Saturday to Sunday group. I've got a very big YouTuber as my guest today. So that's our Dubai blogger Jibon Bhai. He's a very respected elder brother for me. Thank you for joining, brother. Thank you for joining Jibon Bhai in my live lesson. I appreciate. We're all good. Thank you. So I can see most of you are here. Rita is here. Hello, Rita. How are you? How was your last week's Father's Day meal? I hope you had a great time with your family. Julia is here. Hello, Julia. So it's Rima, Sister Rima. Salam. Walaikum assalam, Sister Rima. How are you? Sister Adina is here. Walaikum assalam, Sister Adina. Phil is here. Hi, Phil. How are you? And then, no other than our brother Dubai blogger Jibon Bhai is here. Thank you so much for joining once again. So, are you all ready to start your today's lesson? Today, as you can see in our headings, that title, that today we are going to learn to make a adult hat, hopefully. Rita just responded saying, we are still in lockdown, so no family. Yes, I know, Rita, but I think you had a video call with your family member last week to celebrate Father's Day. So I hope things gets better at your end soon. Okay. Yes, June Bhai, thank you. Yeah, we are going to start soon. So as you can see in the title, it said we are going to create an adult hat today. Are you all ready? Have you all got your crochet hook and yarn bundle in front of you so that we can begin our lesson? For this tutorial, I'm going to be using a crochet hook size 5, scissor and a DK yarn. You can use any color of your choice as long as it's DK. That should be all right. I'm just waiting for your reply. Please write down in the chat box if you have all got your crochet hook and yarn in front of you so that we can start our today's lesson. Sister Husna just joined us. Thank you, Sister Husna, for joining me. All right, then I can see most of you are ready. So let's start then. In today's lesson, we are going to learn to make adult crochet hat. To begin, as we always do, we are going to start with slip knot. I'm using a crochet hook size 5 and a DK yarn, and we'll start our crochet project by creating a slip knot. To create a slip knot, put your this short end of your yarn strand in your right hand side, and with the left in your left hand index finger, just wrap the yarn around twice, just like this. And once done, now this is your back loop and this is your front loop, so put your back loop in front of your front loop. Okay, and now this is the front loop and this is the back loop. Put the back loop in front of this front loop. Now this is our new front loop, this is our new back loop. So just pull this back loop out of your finger and keep pulling it until it gets tightened, and at the same time pull the short and long strands, both strands of your yarn, like this. So this is my slip knot. I'm sure by now all of you know how to create the slip knot, because in all our lessons, in each lesson we explain this, and we need to create slip knot for any of the crochet project. So after creating the crochet project, I'm just going to put my crochet hook through this slip knot and just tightening it, to just adjusting it so that it be the slip knot be almost equal the size of the circumference of my crochet hook, but still a bit loose so that I can move it around the crochet hook comfortably. Okay, now salam sister Afrida, thank you for joining me. I'm good, thank you. How are you, sister Afrida? I hope you'll enjoy our today's tutorial. We are making a crochet hat. Jivan Bhai is saying most important live streaming for us. Thank you, Jivan Bhai. Thank you. I appreciate your comments. So after creating the slip knot, we are going to create chain spaces. These are two basic steps that we always do, base steps that we always follow to begin any crochet project. Okay, so let's start with chain spaces. To create a chain space, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook and pull it through the slip knot. That's your first chain space. Okay, we have to create 4 chain space, so repeat these steps for 3 more times. Wrap the yarn around your crochet hook and pull through. That's your second chain space. Wrap the yarn around and pull through. Third chain space. Wrap the yarn around and pull through. Fourth chain space. Okay, so I'm just going to pause here, just give you a few more seconds so that you all finish your finish creating your chain spaces, and then I'll show you how to join these chain spaces to make it a little round shape, to give it a little round shape. Okay, sister Husna just confirmed she has finished writing it, finished creating crochet the slip knot and the chain spaces. Who else have done that so far? Please let me know so that we can move to our next step. Okay, Koli has done that. Well done, sister Koli. Okay, I can see most of you have finished doing your slip knot and chain spaces. Now we have to join this 4th chain space with the first chain space. Okay, so to do that, I'm just going to put my crochet hook through the first chain space like this, and pull up a loop. So to pull up a loop, wrap the yarn around the crochet hook while it's in that chain space and pull this loop all the way through both chains. Okay, so this is your tiny little chain space, round chain space, where we are going to begin our next row. So have you all got it? Have you all managed to join the fourth and first chain space and ended up with this tiny little space, 4 chain space? Okay, Sister Husna just confirmed done. Okay, well done. Okay, what about the rest of you? Okay, lovely. Rita, what about you? Did you manage to join this fourth and first chain? Okay, Sister Rita has also done that, and so did Asiya, Sister Husna, and Adila. Well done, all of you. So let's move to our row 1. Respected host, these videos are important for everyone. Thank you so much, Brother Jibon. Those of you who are not familiar with YouTube um, society and YouTube, our famous YouTubers, I would just like to introduce you all with Dubai blogger Jibon Pai, who is like a very big YouTuber from Bangladesh, who is residing in Dubai at the moment. If you would like to join him, please do that. We all love, he is very helpful, and he helps all the new YouTubers in every way possible. Okay, thank you for joining me today, Brother Jibon. So let's start with row 1. To create row 1, will start with 3 chain spaces. Like we always do, we start new rows with chain spaces, and these 3 chain spaces will count it as our first double crochet. To create chain space, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook and pull through. That's your first chain space. Just repeat it for 2 more times. So we've got 3 chain spaces now, which we are going to count as our first double crochet. Now just go ahead and create 12 double crochet in this chain space, including this first 3 chain spaces. So we'll count it as the double crochet. So we have already crocheted our first double crochet. We need to crochet 11 more double crochet in this tiny little space. Okay, so let's start then. To create our double crochet, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook and put your crochet hook through that 4 chain spaces round shape that you have just created. Put it through that and wrap the yarn around your crochet hook again and pull up a loop. Wrap the yarn around, pull through first 2. Wrap the yarn around and pull through last 2 loops. That's our first double crochet. But the Jibon is saying, I shared your live with my wife. If she's free, she must join and she will learn from your work. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. You don't have to do that, but thank you. Yeah, it would be an honor if Bhabhi joined me. So this is our first double crochet. Now just repeat these same steps for 10 more times. We need 12 double crochet in total for our row 1. So I'm going to explain the steps again. To create a double crochet, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook, put the crochet hook through the space, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook again and pull up the loop. So you've got 3 loops in your crochet hook. Wrap the yarn around, pull through first 2, wrap the yarn around, pull through last 2 loops. That's your second or third double crochet. Okay, if you count the first 3 chain space as your double crochet, this is your third. So that means you need to crochet 9 more times, 9 more double crochet. So just carry on, just go ahead and create 9 more double crochet, and then when we finish doing double crochets, then I'll show you how to join the round. Okay, Oh my God, Rita, you were really fast. You have finished crocheting 12 double crochet even before me. Okay, that's great. Just wait for the rest of the team members, group members, and also for me. Thank you, Sister Frida. Thank you for liking this live. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8. So I need to do 4 more double crochet. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, that's 12 double crochet done. So I'm just going to put my crochet hook through the third chain space from the first 3 chain spaces that we created to start our row. So that's 1, 2, 3. This is my third. This is my third chain space, right? So I'm just going to put my crochet hook through that and wrap the yarn around and pull through. That's my slip stitch done, and this is how I joined my rows. Uh, okay, so this is how it should look like after your first row. Now let's start, move on to row 2. I know most of you have done even before me, so I'm just going to go ahead and start row 2. To start your row 2, create 3 chain spaces. Okay, so wrap the yarn around and pull through. That's your first. Wrap the yarn around, pull through second. Wrap the yarn around, pull through third. 3 chain spaces created. Now in this row we are going to crochet 2 double crochet in this same chain spaces. So before we have in our first row we created 12 double crochet, right? So at the after the end of row 2 we should have 24 double crochet altogether. So this is why I've just created 3 chain spaces, which is my first double crochet. We are going to count it as our first double crochet, and in the same chain I'm going to put my crochet hook through, pull up a loop and create another double crochet. So 2 double crochet in the same chain space. Now move to the next chain, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook, put your crochet hook through that next chain space, pull up a loop, 3 loops in your crochet hook, wrap the yarn around, pull through first 2, wrap the yarn around, pull through last 2 loops. So that's your first double crochet for this chain. Now you have to create another double crochet in this same chain space, because we are trying to do our increase, and in each chain space we are crocheting 2 double crochet. Um, so I'm just going to go ahead and crochet another double crochet in this same chain space. Okay, if you have any question, please let me know in the comment section. So now we'll move to the next chain space, and there we are going to crochet 2 double crochet in this same chain space. This is our first double crochet for this chain space. I'm going to put my crochet hook in that same chain space and create another double crochet. So that's my 2 double crochet done for this chain space. So just go ahead and crochet 2 double crochet in each chain space for the rest of the round, and we'll meet you at the end, not around, for the rest of this row, and then I'll meet you at the end. It's very important that you do your counting correctly when you're doing a crochet project, otherwise you will end up with not so right shape project. Yeah, so this is why just keep counting while you are doing your project. Just crocheting 2 double crochet in the same chain space for row 2. So let me just count how many I've done so far. We should have 24 of double crochet in this row. I've got 22 already, so and this is my last chain space, and here I'm going to crochet 2 more double crochet to make it 24. Okay, so I've done my 24 double crochet, and I've come to the end of row 2. Yes, now I'm just going to join this side with the big 3 chain spaces to make it like a round shape like this. Okay, have you all finished crocheting your second row? Have you all managed to crochet 24 double crochet for this row? Please let me know in the comment section. I'm just going to go ahead and crochet join this row. Okay, to join your row, uh, go to the first 3 chain spaces and find the third chain space from this first 3 chain spaces. Okay, so that's my 1, 2 and 3. This is the third chain space from the first 3 chain spaces, and that was the beginning of our row 2. So I'm going to just put my crochet hook through the third chain space like this, and wrap the yarn around the crochet hook and pull up a loop through that chain space and also through the loop that I had in my crochet hook. This is called a slip stitch, and we create slip stitch to join a knit project. And so I have finished joining my row 2, and now I'm going to just wait for your reply and see if you have all finished doing it. Mm, if you have all managed to come to the end of row 2, and then we'll all start row 3 together. Okay, so looks like most of you have managed to crochet 24 double crochet. What about Rita, sister Rita from Australia, Melbourne? Have you finished crocheting your row 2? Just waiting for you, and then we'll start row 3. Thank you, sister Afrida's mom, for staying with me and supporting me. Okay, so I think most all of you have done it. All of you have managed to crochet your row 2. So let's start row 3. To create start row 3, we'll begin by crocheting 3 chain spaces. To create your chain space, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook and pull through. That's your first chain space. Wrap the yarn around again and pull through. Second chain space, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook and pull through. That's your third chain space. Okay, now we are going to go to that same chain space and do create another double crochet. Okay, to create the double crochet, wrap the yarn around, go to the same chain space, put your crochet hook through and pull up a loop. Wrap the yarn around your crochet hook again and pull it through. So that's your loop. 3 loops in your crochet hook. Wrap the yarn around and pull through first 2 loops only. Now wrap the yarn around again and pull through the last 2 loops. So that's your double crochet done. and we have created 2 double crochet in our very first chain, right? Now this row is going to be a bit different. Like in our first row we only created 12 double crochet. In our second row we did increase in each chain space, and we created 24 double crochet, 2 double crochet in one chain space. This was our steps, but here our steps would be, in the first chain we'll create 2 double crochet, and in the next chain we are going to crochet only one chain space. Okay, so put your crochet hook through, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook, pull up a loop, wrap the yarn around again, pull through first two, wrap the yarn around again and pull through the last 2 loops. So in this chain space we are only going to crochet one double crochet. Okay, now we'll move to the next chain space, and there we are going to crochet 2 double crochet again. Okay, so this is going to be our new steps. We will keep repeating it throughout the rest of your row. 2 double crochet followed by 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet in one chain space, then in the next chain space just 1 double crochet. This is our new step for this row. So I have only crocheted 1 double crochet in the previous chain space. Now in this chain space I'm going to crochet 2 double crochet in the same chain space. Okay, so in the next chain space I will only do 1 double crochet, and the next chain space I'm going to do 2 double crochet again. So the next chain space I have to create only 1 double crochet, right? So just go ahead uh, and keep repeating these steps: 2 double crochet in one chain space, then one chain space, only 1 double crochet in the next chain space. So keep repeating this step till the end of this row. Okay, and by the end of this row we should have 36 double crochet. So I've come to the towards the end of row 3. I'm just going to count my double crochet. I know I told you that we should have 36 double crochet by the end of row 3. Let me see how many I've got left and how many I've crocheted so far. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So I've crocheted 32 altogether. Now I just need to crochet 4 more to finish, 4 more double crochet to finish off row 3. So I've just done 2 double crochet in the same chain space. That means in the next chain space I only have to crochet 1 double crochet, and in the very next one I have to crochet 2 double crochet. Is this all clear to you? If you have got any question about this row or any other steps of this project, please let me know in the comment section. I am more than happy to explain it over and over again to you until you really get it. So please don't hesitate to write your comment down in the comment box. Write your question down in the comment box, okay? So I've come to the end of row 3. I'm just going to join it with the third chain space from the first 3 chain spaces. And after that, I will wait for a few minutes and see if you all have managed to finish your row 3. And we'll start with row 4. So that's my 1, 2, 3. This is my third chain space from the first 3 chain spaces of this row 3. Just going to put my crochet hook through that chain space, okay? Right. And I'm going to crochet a slip stitch to join my row. So this is how it looks like a circle at the moment. And this is how your project should look like by the end of row 3. Sister Afrida, thank you for your support. Thank you for staying with me. I appreciate, really appreciate your support. So that's the end of row 3. Just going to wait for rest of you, and please write down in the comment section once you finish your row 3 so that we can move to row 4. Okay, Sister Rita has done that. Well done. Who else have finished doing it? Sister Asiya has done that. Cool. So did Sister Rima. Well done, all of you. Have you got any question for me so far? Or is it all clear to you? Please let me know. If you don't say anything, I feel like you are not understanding. Maybe I'm not explaining it well to you. So just be active in the comment section and let me know. If you, how are you doing? Okay. Okay, I can see most of you have done that. All let's see, Rima. Okay, all of you have done that. Well done, sisters. And let's move to row 4 then. Okay. So now in this new row, we are going to crochet start our new row with 3 chain spaces. So wrap the yarn around your crochet hook and pull through. That's your first chain space. Just repeat these steps for 2 more times. So that's your 3 chain spaces done. And in the same chain space, just go ahead and crochet 1 more double crochet. So wrap the yarn around your crochet hook, go to that chain space and pull up a loop, wrap the yarn around, pull through first 2, wrap the yarn around and pull through last 2. That's your double crochet done. So we have done 2 double crochet in the same chain space. Now we'll move to the next chain space and we'll only crochet 1 double crochet there. Okay, so wrap the yarn around your crochet hook and go to the next chain space, pull up a loop, 3 loops in your crochet hook, wrap the yarn around, pull through first 2, wrap the yarn around and pull through the last 2 loops. So in this chain space we are only going to crochet 1 double crochet. Okay, now we'll move to the very next chain, and there we are going to crochet only 1 double crochet again. So put your crochet hook through the next chain space and pull up a loop, 3 loops in your crochet hook, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook, pull through first 2 loops, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook again and pull through the last 2 loops. So this is our new steps for this row 4. We will crochet 2 double crochet in the same chain space and then followed by 1 double crochet in one chain space, 1 double crochet in the next chain space. Now, and we'll repeat this throughout. Okay, so in the next chain space we'll crochet 2 double crochet in the same chain space again. So put your crochet hook through the next chain space and create a double crochet. Now go back to the same chain space and create another double crochet. Okay, so that's 2 double crochet in the same chain space. Now for the next 2 chain spaces we'll only crochet 1 double crochet in each chain space. So there will be 1 double crochet in this one, 1 double crochet in the next one, and then we'll repeat the steps again. In the next chain space 2 double crochet in the same chain space, followed by 1 double crochet in the next chain space, 1 double crochet in the very next chain space. So let's just go ahead and do that. I'm going to explain it few more times so that you don't get confused, and then once you get it, you'll just go ahead and repeat these steps throughout this row. Okay, so we've just done 2 double crochet in the same chain space. That means in the next 2 chain spaces we are only going to crochet 1 double crochet in each chain space. So that's my first, only 1 double crochet. The next chain space only 1 double crochet again. Okay, now in the very next one we have to crochet 2 double crochet in the same chain space. 2 double crochet in the same chain space. That means in the next 2 chain spaces we are only going to crochet 1 double crochet in each of the chain space. Okay, so basically this is going to be the same, these 3 steps that you'll have to follow for the rest of your row 4. So just go ahead and keep crocheting your stitches, and I'll meet you at the end here where I'll show you how to join the row. Okay, so that's 2 double crochet in one chain space, followed by 1 double crochet in the next 2 chain spaces, 1 double crochet in the next one, next chain space, and in the very next chain space again 1 double crochet. Okay, just keep repeating these steps throughout. Thank you, Sister Frida. Thank you for liking my work. If you are interested, you can join my crochet classes, sister. I will explain everything from the very beginning, and you just need a bit of patience at the beginning, maybe in first two classes, and then once you get it, then it gets really addictive. You know, this crocheting thing, you just can't, you just don't want to let go of your crochet hook. You just want to carry on doing your project. So this happens to me a lot of the time, where I can't stop crocheting. I just go on and on and on until I finish my project. So this is how addictive it is. But and also it has a psychological benefit as well. You know, in the lots of first world countries and other countries now, they recommend this kind of mindfulness activities to patients who is suffering from depression or stress, because this mindfulness activity, it keeps you so absorbed with, it keeps you so busy occupied with this project that you forget about your stress, and you just go to a different world of creativity. And when you manage to finish a project, that gives you so much joy. Let's see how many double crochet I've done so far. 1, 2, 3, 6. So at the end of this row, you should have uh, 48 double crochet. Okay. Got 47. I just have to do one more. And then that's it for me. That's the end of this row for me. By the end of this row, you should have 48 double crochet. So I've got 48 double crochet for this row. Now I'm going to join this both side of my uh, this row. Yes, so to join that, I'm going to go and find out the third chain space from the first three chain spaces. That's 1, 2 and 3. So this is the third chain space. So here I'm going to join my work to finish off this row to a slip stitch. This was the end of row 4. Now I'm just going to pause a bit here and wait for all my group members to finish off their project. And in the next chain space, in the next row, we are going to have learn to create a fun stitch. I'm just going to wait for all of you to finish off this row. So basically, this is how we'll fold our project. So far we are just creating round shapes, and it might not look nothing like a head. Basically, we'll fold our work like this, and this is how your head would look like. So you will carry on doing more rows here and here, and this is how your project will go bigger and bigger, and it will have a head, shapes like a head the more you do your project. Yeah, okay, that's good. So I've done 48 double crochet for this row. I don't think I will need to do any more increase. So from this row I'm not going to do any more increase. I will just do one stitch for each of the chain spaces. Okay, so let's check who has finished doing it. Okay, I've got a comment from Sister Frida. আপু হাতের কাজ আমার খুবই ভালো লাগে, আমিও পারি, কিন্তু আমার আপনার মতো না, ভালো ক্লাস থেকে আমি আরেকটু ভালো শিখতে পারবো। আপু অনেক ধন্যবাদ। Thank you, Sister Frida. Thank you for your comment, and I really appreciate it. And it's good to hear that you know this works. Then it will be really, really easy for you to join the class and do the lessons to learn more project. Yes, so just going to check the comment box and see who has finished doing it, and then we'll move to row 5. Okay, not bad. Most of you have done that, which is very impressive. Okay, so well done all of you for finishing your row 4. Now I'm trying to teach you a new stitch today, which is called ribbed stitch. Okay, to crochet a rib stitch, we'll start our new row as usual with 3 double crochet. Okay, just give me a few seconds, and I'm just going to check something. Okay, let's start then. Yes, and from this row 5, we are crocheting ribbed stitch. Okay, we'll start our row 5 as usual with 3 chain spaces like we always do. We climb up to a new row or with 3 chain spaces always. So this is what we are going to do today as well. Okay, So start with 3 chain spaces. Put your crochet, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook and pull through. That's your first chain space. Wrap the yarn around again, pull through. That's your second chain space. Wrap the yarn around and pull through. That's your third chain space. Okay. Now just move to the very next chain space. Okay, which is this one here. This is the next chain space. So as if you can remember, we have done 48 double crochet in the previous row. We will have 48 um, 48 ribbed stitch in this row as well. Okay, so to create your ribbed stitch, uh, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook once and put your crochet hook through the previous row's double crochet like this, not through the chain space. Okay, put it through like this, put it through your double crochet. So to create your rib stitch, at first, like we start our double crochet, wrap your yarn around your crochet hook, but instead of going to the chain space here, we will put our crochet hook through the double crochet like this. Did you all manage to do that? If you notice the screen now, just see I'm explaining it to you how you can do that. Instead of putting your crochet hook through the next chain space, you are putting your crochet hook through the double crochet. This is your double crochet. You're putting your crochet hook like this. Okay, have you all got it? If not, please let me know in the comment section. Now wrap your yarn around your crochet hook and just go ahead and do the double crochet. So put your crochet hook through, so this is your double crochet, but we have done the double crochet around our, by putting our crochet hook around through our double crochet from previous row, and this is your first ribbed stitch. Okay, so now just go ahead and do it one more time. So wrap the yarn around your crochet hook, go to the next double crochet here, put your crochet hook through like this, through your double crochet, not through your chain space, and just go ahead and create a double crochet. This is your second rib stitch. Okay, I'm going to show you a few more time. So wrap the yarn around your crochet hook. A ribbed stitch is basically the same steps that you follow for your double crochet, but instead of putting your crochet hook through the chain spaces, you are putting your crochet hook through the double crochet from previous row like this, and just doing your double crochet steps. That's called your ribbed stitch. Okay, so this is your double crochet, and ribbed stitch is like this. This would be your double crochet. If you are creating double crochet, this is how it would look like, but we are crocheting the ribbed stitch. I'm just doing this double crochet for comparing it with the rib stitch. The rib stitch, this one, it just it gives you like a 3D shape, and it creates a straight line, and it's a bit goes up, not just like this. It looks a bit upwards, stays a bit upwards. So this is your rib stitch. Okay, this is your double crochet. So this is the difference. So see, double crochet, it looks flat, while ribbed stitch, by the name of it, you know what ribbed. I'm sure you have seen this term so many times. We wear ribbed dress, ribbed uh, trousers, or so many other stuff. So I'm sure you're familiar with this term. So rib stitch would be like a bit uh, fluffy to go up a bit rather than your normal stitch, double crochet stitch. Okay, so just go ahead and crochet rib stitch throughout this row, and you should have 48 of this rib stitch, including this first 3 chain spaces. Okay, to create your rib stitch, put your crochet hook through the double crochet from previous row like this, and wrap the yarn around and pull up a loop, wrap the yarn around, pull through first 2 loops of your crochet hook, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook and pull through the last 2 loops of your crochet hook. So just go ahead and create your ribbed stitches throughout this row, and there should be 48 of this. This is how it should look like. See, check the differences. The double crochet would be like flat, and rib stitch would uh, be up. So if you got any questions so far about this ribbed stitch, please let me know in the comment section. If you want me to explain this ribbed stitch again, please do let me know. We're just putting our crochet hook through the double crochet from our previous row to create this ribbed stitch. Okay. This is our 5th row. We are doing 5th row of our crochet head, and we are creating rib stitches throughout our row, and we are not doing any increases for this row. We are only crocheting one rib stitch on top of one double crochet from previous row. I've come towards the end of row 5, and by the end of this row you should have 48 ribbed stitch. Let me just count how many rib stitches I have done so far. These first 3 chain space, we are also counting it as our rib stitch, so we'll count it as one when we count the total rib stitches that we have done so far. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I've done 47 rib stitch, so I've just got one more uh, to finish off this row. Just going to go ahead and crochet my last rib stitch. This is very simple rib stitch. It's a very simple, just you have to uh, do the, it's just double crochet basically, but instead of going through the chain spaces, you are crocheting your your rib stitch in your on around your previous row's double crochet, which gives it a fluffy shape, and it stands out. So now I've come to the end of this row. I'm just going to attach it with the third chain space from the first 3 chain spaces that we have created to start our row 5. I'm just going to go and find that third chain space. So that's 1, 2, and that's 3. That's my third chain space. I'm going to, so this is 1, 2, 3. This is my third chain space. So I'm going to attach my end of this row with the first third chain space with a slip stitch. That's the end of row 5. Just going to wait for all of you to finish, and then we'll start row 6. Okay, Sister Afrida, mom, I think your name is Shati Abba. Allah Hafiz, you take care. Thank you for staying with me so far, and I appreciate your presence. Take care. Just going to wait for all of you to finish off your row 5. Then I'll start with row 6. While I'm waiting for all of you, I'm just going to check something. Shall we just do ribbed all of the row, or shall we just do one double crochet and one ribbed? Let me check how it looks like. I think for some of my work I've done one ribbed and one double crochet. Let's see how it looks like. No, I think I would prefer just the rib stitch throughout. But you can do that, you know. You have come to this stage where you can, you know, play around with your stitches, or you can make your own design or pattern. So yes, I think I'll just do rib stitches, not one rib stitch, one double crochet, because that I prefer this look. But if you want to do that, like one ribbed stitch and one double crochet, you can do that as well. So let's check who has finished doing this. Sister Rita is ready. Sister Husna is ready. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, who else? Sister Rima, Sister Adina. Okay, most of you have done that. So well done on that. Okay, looks like all of you have done this. So let's start row 6. In row 6, we'll start with uh, 3 chain spaces again. So put your crochet, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook once and pull through. That's your first chain space. Wrap the yarn around and pull through. Second chain space, wrap the yarn around and pull through. Third chain space. Okay, this is the start of any row. This is going to be the starting of any row. Now we'll go move to the next step, and we are not doing any increase in this row either. We're just going to crochet 48 ribbed stitch. To create your ribbed stitch, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook, go to the next ribbed stitch and put your crochet hook through the ribbed stitch. Don't go through the chain space. Put your crochet hook through the previous row's ribbed stitch and just do a double crochet. Put your crochet hook through the rib stitch, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook, pull up a loop, 3 loops in your crochet hook, wrap the yarn around, pull through first 2 loop and wrap the yarn around, pull through the last 2 loops. That's your usual double crochet steps, but just by crocheting on top of your previous row stitches, you are creating these gorgeous ribbed stitches. Okay, so just go ahead and crochet rib stitches 48 all together for this row, and I will meet you at the end of this row and I'll show you how to join your work. This is our 6th row going on. Just going to explain your I'm just going to explain your usual ribbed stitch again. To crochet rib stitch, put your crochet hook, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook and put your crochet hook through the stitch fresh from previous row like this. Put it through that stitch, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook, pull up a loop, 3 loops in your crochet hook, wrap the yarn around, pull through first 2, wrap the yarn around and pull through last 2. Okay, so just go ahead and do that. Ribbed stitches throughout this row, 48 to get all total. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam, Sister Tarannum. Thank you for joining me. It's okay, Sister Tarannum. This is my crochet lesson class going on. Thank you for joining. How are you and how is your baby boy doing? Today we are making an adult head using ribbed stitch crochet technique. I hope you'll enjoy watching this, watching us making this, or you can give it a try as well. The rib stitch is very like easy stitch. Just you are putting your crochet, just how you put your crochet hook through the previous row stitch instead of the chain space. That makes all the differences. Okay. It's the same as double crochet stitch, just we are crocheting on top of previous rows stitch, not going through the chain spaces. And this makes all the differences, and this makes the ribbed size. So this is how it looks like. Thank you for letting me know, Sister Poppy, Husna, Sister Zara, and Manna. Thank you for being active in the chat box section and letting me know that you are understanding what I'm explaining to you, and you're managing to crochet along with me. So that's thank you for this reassurance. We come to the end of this row. I think we're doing row 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this was the 6th row. And we should be making 48 ribbed stitch. Let's check how many we have done so far. But before that, let's check who is here. Sister Fahmina just joined me. Assalamu alaikum, assalam, Sister Fahmina. Thank you for joining me and liking my work. We are all good. Thank you. How are you? Thank you for joining me my live lesson, crochet lesson. I hope you'll enjoy making this fun head shape for me. Fahmina আপু এত সুন্দর দেখাই। Okay, thank you so much, Sister Tahmina. I appreciate that you like my work. It motivates me to make even better, to improve myself even more and work harder. So I'm just waiting for all of you to finish off row 6, and at the end after that I will start moving to row 7. Okay, I can see most of you have done that. Let me just count all the stitches and see if I have I have created 48 rib stitch or not. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I've done 48 rib stitch for this row. That means it's time to attach my join my both sides of this row to give it a round shape. To join both sides, I'm going to use the slip stitch technique, and I'm going to join with the third chain space of the first three chain spaces that we have created. So this is the first one, two, and this is the third chain space. I'm going to put my crochet hook through third chain space, wrap the yarn around, and pull through. So that's my slip stitch done, and that's the end of row 6. See, it's your head is has started taking the shape. So the more you join, the more you add rows, the more it will look more like a head shape. It will be bigger, and then it will go like this all the way till that. So I'm not sure if the time will allow me to show you all the rows, but I'll try to do as many. So let's start with row 7. I'll start by crocheting 3 chain spaces, and then from the next stitch we are going to crochet ribbed stitches again throughout this row, and we are going to crochet 48 of the rib stitch. We are still not doing any increases. It's a good idea to check the circumference of your of the head for the. You can just put this project on top of your head and see if it fills the circumference of your um, head, and then that means you don't have to crochet anymore. You don't have to increase any more stitches. You just have to go ahead and do your stitches as normal and just make it longer, bigger. They just need to add more and more rows to make the full head. But if you feel like these are not enough for this whole circumference of your head, then you can go ahead and do few more increases. Okay, so just put this on top of your head. I can't show you right now because I'm not my phone is my camera is not showing my face. So just put it over your head and check if this shape, does it cover your forehead, sorry, does it cover the whole circumference of your head. Then just go ahead and do the uh, stitches if it does, or if you feel like no, it's going to be a bit smaller. Then this is the standard size I'm making, but if you feel like that no, I need to maybe increase a bit, then you do that by checking it, putting it on top of the circumference of your on top of your head, and check the circumference. And this is another technique that I have told you just right now. If you follow this, so now you will know you can make any size of head. I'm showing it for adult standard size head, but if you want to make it for a young kid or a baby, you can just measure their head circumference of their head, and just create the round shape following same size of their circumference, and then just go ahead and do your usual stitch without doing any increase. I hope it makes sense to you. If not, just let me know in the comment section. Just crocheting row 7 now, and I'm not doing any increases my circumference. You can check now or later, and if I feel like now it's I have to do a few more increases, then I can just go ahead and do that. Let me just show you how to do the increase here, because we are talking about the increases. For ribbed stitches, this is how you can do your increase. So for example, you have done your rib stitch here. So to crochet increase, just put your crochet hook, just wrap the yarn around your crochet hook like this, and go to that same stitches where you have just created a rib stitch. Go to the same stitch and just create another rib stitch. So this is how easy it is to create a increase. So I'm not going to do an increase right now, because I have just done, I know how much it would take, how many stitches I need for a standard adult size hat. So that's why I increased till 48 stitches, and then I'm just doing one stitch on top of another and not doing any increase. But if you feel like you need to make your project little bit bigger, I have shown you how can you increase a rib stitch. You just have to go to that same stitch from your previous row and create another rib stitch. That's all you will have to do, and this is how you increase a rib stitch. If you have any question about the rib stitch or increases of your rib stitch, please let me know in the comment section. I can see I've got another guest here, Brother M. Rahman. Thank you, Salam, Brother Rahman. Thank you for joining my live crochet lesson. I hope you'll enjoy watching us making this hat, adult hat. We are just using crochet rib stitch technique to create this beautiful hat. I'm still doing rib stitches for row 7, and I haven't done any increases for this row. 48 rib stitch as I'm doing for this row. By the end of this row you should have 48 rib stitches. All the rib stitches throughout this row except the first 3 chain spaces to go up the row. This was our step, and we are doing the rib stitches on top of previous row stitch, not through the chain space. We are putting the crochet hook through the stitch from previous row, and then just doing our usual double crochet stitch. This is what rib stitch, this is what our rib stitch, this is called a rib stitch. Okay, so let me just count. I think I've finished doing 48 double crochet. I'm still going, sorry, rib stitch. I'm still going to count it just in case I miss one or two. Don't want to miss. Thank you, Sister Fahmina, for staying with us and showing your support. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 22, 23. Yes, I've done 48 rib stitch. Now it's time to attach both ends, okay, using the slip stitch technique. So I'm just going to go ahead and find the third chain space from the first 3 chain spaces and do a slip stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3. This is the third chain space. Going to put my crochet hook through and pull up a loop, do the slip stitch. That's row 7 done. So the more you will carry on doing your rows, the more it will take the shapes, because you are not doing any more increases. It would be like this, it will come like this. So like I said already, if you feel like you need to do increases, you can go ahead and do that, but I feel like this should be it should fit my head perfectly. I just checked, and I think I'm going to crochet a few more rows, and then it will be more clear if I need to do any increase, and if I need, I can just go ahead and do that. And so applies with you. but this is the standard size, standard stitches that we would usually do to crochet a standard size adult head. But you can always increase or decrease according to your need. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say here. So let's start row 8. To create your row 8, start with chain spaces, 3 chain spaces. So put your crochet hook, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook and pull up a loop. So that's your first chain space, second chain space, and this is your third chain space. Okay, still no more increases. Now I'll just go ahead and crochet um, rib stitch. So put your crochet hook through and pull up a loop, and then go ahead and do your double crochet steps. Put your crochet hook through the previous row stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops in your crochet hook, wrap the yarn around and pull through first 2, wrap the yarn around and pull through last 2. Okay, are you all with me? How are you getting on? If you are finding it a bit hard, or if you want me to slow down a bit, please let me know. Please be active in the comment box so that I know that you are understanding everything that I'm saying. Okay. Sister, our recipes and vlogs. Sister Rahima is here. So, Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum assalam, Sister Rahima. Thank you for joining my crochet lesson. This all good for Sister Rita. Thank you, Sister Rita, for letting me know. And did you understand my explanation of how you can increase your rows, increase your stitches to make your head bigger or smaller? So let me know in the comment section. Okay. So we have started doing row 8 now. I'm just crocheting all these rib stitches throughout this row again, and not doing any uh, increases. Thank you, Sister Rahima, for joining me and liking this, liking my lesson. Yes, Sister Rita, perfectly understood. Thank you, Sister, for confirming. Thank you, Rita. You are really good. I know you catch up really quickly. You are a fast, quick learner. So I'm very glad to have you in my class. And you know what? I just realized this week is our last week. This is our 4th week, and this is the 7th class. And we said at the beginning of this course that we'll have 8 lessons. So tomorrow is going to be our very last lesson. I'm sure I will be very emotional, and I'm not sure about you, but I'm going to miss these classes a lot. I'm going to miss meeting you every Saturday and Sunday, and making crochet projects with you. This actually always gave me like an boost to start my day early. And great job. Thank you so much, Rita. And always keep in touch, because I always post tutorials in my channel. And some of my other students, they told me that if they can continue, if we can continue the lessons. And I'm not sure right now, because life is so busy and I work full time. But I always post in new tutorials in my channel. And I'm also thinking of posting premieres where you can join with me and you can ask me. This is same like live lessons, but slightly different in that way, that I will be like recording the videos ahead of the, like now I'm just doing it right now with you all. But with premieres I will pre-record the video, but I will be there with you while I'm explaining the my new project. I'm explaining a tutorial, so I will be ready to answer your questions. So I will be doing a lot of premieres after I finish this class, because I know you will all be missing me, and I'm going to miss that too. And I don't want to, totally go, out of sight. I don't want to totally leave you alone after just this 8th class. So I would try to come, but I can't do 2 hours of lessons because it's too long time. It's a lot of commitment for me. I'll be busy with few other projects, but I will post regular tutorials in my crochet channel, and I will also do premieres, so which are like pre-recorded lessons, and where you can directly ask me any questions about that tutorial, and I will answer I will respond to you immediately, like here I'm doing. Okay, so I will post the link to the premieres in our WhatsApp group, and this is how you will be able to join me. Maybe I will do it on Saturday and Sunday, your usual time, so that and also I might do Monday and Tuesday. I'm not too sure. Maybe Saturday and Sunday I will do, because this weekend, and I don't have to go to work. I'll let you know later in our WhatsApp group. Okay, so if you see any update from me in the WhatsApp group, so stay alert. So this is how we would continue to be in touch, hopefully after the end of this lesson. But nevertheless, I'm going to miss you all. And when I started the class, I really didn't expect that much from all of you. You learned really quickly, and you caught up, and you continued coming back to the classes, even though you're not bound to come. You didn't have to come, but still you came, and you stayed for 2 hours with me, and had patience while I'm explaining it to others, while maybe some of you went ahead while others were falling a bit back. So you waited patiently for all the group members to finish a round or project, so that we can start a new row together. So thank you all for your cooperation. I appreciate, and I'm very emotional right now, and I'm sure I'll be saying even more tomorrow, which would be our last lesson. So this is the end of our row 8. I think I've already done 48 rib stitch. I'm just going to check in case I miss one or two. If I miss any, then my project will start shrinking, and the size will go down. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 10 17 18 19 20 21 22. 48. Yes, I've done 48 of this rib stitch. Now I'm just going to join my stitch with the third chain from the first 3 chain spaces. 1 2 3. This is the third chain space, so I'm just joining this to finish off row 8. So this is how our project is looking like so far. And don't think I'll still need to do any increases or decreases, because when you wear this, after sometimes you'll find out it gets a bit bigger anyway. So I'll just go ahead and do few more rows until the end of today's lesson. I will just do it so that it takes a bit more shapes of a head, and then I'll explain how you can carry on doing more rows, and I'm sure you will be able to do that. So let's start row 9 with 3 chain spaces, and from the very next one just start doing your rib stitches. Okay, After a few rows, I'm also going to show you how to decrease this rib stitch in case you have done too many stitches, and after sometimes it feels like it's getting too big. The head is getting too big for the size of your head. You can do decrease stitch to make it smaller. So you can just play around with your project, and if you know how to increase and decrease, you can just make the right size and shape project. Even if you have done few rows smaller or few rows bigger, it doesn't really matter. You can fix this, can fix anything, even now if you feel like you have done wrong, or you don't want this stitch, you can just unravel this project, and you can just all the rows would be gone. But I don't want to do that because this was my hard work. I've been working hard on it for last 1 hour, so I don't want to unravel it. Just doing, I think it's row 9. Some people like to tell you exact rows that you need for your project, but I prefer to just go along, and some likes the head sizes to be, after some like their head to be folded towards the end. They like their head like this, they fold it. So that's some likes it just like this, they don't want it to be folded. So that's why I would not tell you any specific number of rows that you will need. And as you have already done 6 lessons, and we have done so many projects so far, I'm sure you've got these skills now that you realize how long you need to make your project to make it, give it the exact size or length of your requirement. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you how many rows. Just go ahead and crochet as many rows as you feel like you need to do to finish off your head. And you can, even go ahead and do 5 or 6 more rows, and towards the end of your head you can just fold it like this, and this would be another nice design. So with my tutorials, I always explain you if something goes wrong, how you can fix it, or I show you I just don't tell you like the rigid way of doing some work. I give you options of how you can change or how you can play along, so that you just don't learn this project or this specific pattern. You learn to you learn to create new shapes or patterns by knowing how you can increase, decrease, how you can lengthen, how you can shorten your project. And it gives you the independence of creating your individual project. I've come to the end of this row. Let me just count so that I don't miss any stitch. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yes, I've done 48 stitch, 48 rib stitch. Now I'm just going to attach it with the third chain space from the first 3 chain spaces by using a slip stitch. Okay, so that's me done with row 9. Now can you see it? It looks, it is taking the shape, and the stitch, rib stitch, you can see the ribs very clearly now. Yeah, So it's beautifully coming along, the ribs. So let's just go ahead and do one more row, and then I'll show you one more time how to increase and decrease your project. So we'll start row 10 with 3 chain spaces. Okay, and then we'll move to the next stitch, and we'll do a rib stitch. Rib stitch is basically a double crochet stitch, but instead of putting a crochet hook through the chains, you put your crochet hook through the through previous rows stitch. This is going to be my last row. After that, I'm not going to do any more rows because we haven't got much time left. This is row 10 I'm doing. I would say you will have to do at least 15 more rows to make it to give it the exact length of your a head, adult head. Okay, I would like to make it with you, but it would not let me, the time would not let me finish it, the whole project, because this is a bit of lengthy project. It would not, 2 hours is not just enough to explain all these stitches and finish all the rows. So I just have to explain you how to do the remaining rows, and how to finish off your project, and we'll see how you get along. And in the next class, if you find any problem making your project, we can always discuss about that in our tomorrow's lesson. This is row 10 going on, and we are only doing ribbed stitches throughout the row. I was checking a few rows below if we can create a new design by doing one rib stitch and one double crochet, but I prefer this design rather than the one double crochet and one rib stitch. But you can try that if you fancy making another head using that design. So basically you just have to crochet one double crochet, and then in the next stitch you just have to crochet one rib stitch. We come towards the end of row 10. I'm not going to do any more rows here, but I'm just in row 11. I'm just going to show you how to do your increases. Okay, we've done 48 so far. we are doing 48 stitches in each row, and this is our 10th row. come to the end of row 10. Just going to attach my work with the third chain space from the first three chain spaces. Okay, now I'm just going to pause a bit here and wait for all of you to finish off your row 10. So this is how our head looks like so far. In the next row, I'm going to show you how to increase. So we created 48 um, stitches for last few rows. Now we are going to do some increases. Okay, so let's start our row 11 with 3 chain spaces, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, now I think we'll crochet 6 uh, 6 rib stitch, including this is first rib stitch. For the next 5 spaces, next 5 stitch, we are just going to do 1 rib stitch, and so just go ahead and do rib stitch in the next chain. In this row we are going to do increase. Okay, so that's my third rib stitch, including the first 3 chain spaces, fourth rib stitch, fifth rib stitch and sixth rib stitch. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, in the sixth rib stitch we are going to do an increase. Okay, so after 5 rib stitch, when we come to the 6th rib stitch, we have done 1 double crochet, 1 rib stitch here. Now we are going to go to the same stitch again and do an increase like this. This is our first increase. In this row we are going to do some increases, and I'm going to show you how to increase. So I've done my first increase here. Thank you all my YouTube family and friends, Sister Fahmina, Muna Vlogs. Hello, Muna, Sister Muna. Thank you for joining me, Sister Taranum, and all my other sisters who is supporting me, even though they don't do they don't they are not participating in the crochet lesson. They are not doing it, but they are still supporting me by being here. So I've done my first increase. I'm going to crochet 5 ribbed without rib stitch without any increase. Next, to create the rib stitch, put the wrap the yarn around your crochet hook once, go to the next stitch and put the crochet hook like this under the stitch and pull up a loop, 3 loops in your crochet hook, wrap the yarn around, pull through first 2, wrap the yarn around and pull through the last 2 loops. That's my first rib stitch. I have to do 4 more without any increase. So the next 4 spaces I'm going to crochet 1 rib stitch in each. So in total I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rib stitch without any increase. Now in the 6th one I am going to do a increase. To crochet the increase, wrap the yarn around your crochet hook, put your crochet hook under the next chain, previous row stitch, and pull up a loop, 3 loops in your crochet hook, wrap the yarn around, pull through first 2, wrap the yarn around, pull through the next 2. Now you have to go back to that same stitch, put your crochet hook through and pull up a loop, 3 loops in your crochet hook, wrap the yarn around, pull through first 2, wrap the yarn around, pull through next 2. This is my second increase, right? Now for the next 5 ribs, I'm not going to do any more increases. So in every 6th rib stitch we are doing an increase, okay, and we'll do it 8 times, so we'll have 8 more stitches from our previous row. So in total we'll have 56 stitches, 56 rib stitches in this row. How many I've done so far? 1 2 3 4 5 ribs without any increase. Now in the next stitch I'm going to do an increase. So basically just doing 2 rib stitch in the same as on top of the same stitch. This is how you do your increase. Okay, I've done my 3rd increase. Now for the next 5 I'm just going to do as usual 1 rib stitch on top of another uh, uh, rib stitch. Okay, previous row rib stitch, no increase so far. So how many I've done? Let's check. 1 2 3 4, and this is the 5th rib stitch, and now I have to do an increase again, right? To crochet the increase, I'm going to put my crochet hook through the previous row stitch, pull up a loop, wrap the yarn around, pull through first 2, wrap the yarn around, pull through the next 2 loops. Basically we are just doing the double crochet. The stitches, rib stitches are the same like double crochet, but instead of doing it on top of the chains, so instead of putting your crochet hook through the chains, we are putting it through the previous rows previous row stitch. That's how it gives a ribbed look. Yes, so I've done my increase. Now for the next 5 stitches I only have to do rib stitches without any increase, 1 stitch on top of other. Okay, 2 3 4 and 5. Now time for another increase. So 2 rib stitch on top of 1 previous rows, only 1 rib stitch. Okay, 2 rib stitch in the same place. I've done that. Now have to do 5 rib stitch in 5 on top of 5 stitches from previous row, no increase. Time for another increase. Now you might ask me why I follow this pattern. Why am I doing increase after every 5 rib stitch? Because we had 48, right? 48 stitches previously, and every 6th stitch I'm doing a increase. So if we multiply 6 by how many? 6 multiplied by 8 is equal to 48. That means I will have 8 increases, and this will give me equal amount of increase. Okay, this is another secret technique. Okay, if you want to increase, do it in equal numbers. So after every fifth one, in fifth reps stitches, I'm doing 1 increases, and that gives me the that helps me to even out my stitches, and throughout the project, because we are making a circle, in equal distance, all the increases has been done. Yes, so even though I've done my increases, my circle will be still the same. If we have just done 5 increases for the 5 next 5 stitches, and for the remaining stitches we would have only done 1 stitch for each chain. It would not make a round shape. So I've just done my counting, and because I have done 48 stitches in previous row, and I can multiply 6 multiplied by 8 equal to 48, so I decided to do an increase in every sixth stitch, so that I have the perfectly round shape is be maintained for my project, even though I'm doing an increase. So if you have to do increase for any project, just remember that do your multiplications, and follow the gaps and everything in equal numbers. So if you are doing 4 gaps and every fifth chain you want to do a increase, just follow that sequence, maintain the sequence. Okay, and this way your project will still have the perfect round shapes without you can still do the increase without compromising the round shape of your head size. So I hope it's making sense to you, and it's not too complex for you to understand. If you feel like it's you didn't get it, please let me know in the comment box, and I will explain it to you one more time. So I've done my all my increases for row 11, and now I'm just going to put my crochet hook through the third chain space from the first 3 chain spaces, and create a slip stitch. That's my row 11 done. You can see I've done 8 increases, 8 new increases. So that is making my uh, head a bit slightly bigger, but it is still maintaining the perfect round shapes. Actually, this is the right size. So this is how your project is going on. Okay, so I've shown you how to do the increases. Okay, I think this would be enough, and you can just go ahead and crochet row 4 by just doing a 56. You don't have to do any more increases, but in case if you feel like you need to do more increases, you what you'll have to do is just this was 56, so just find a multiple of 56. um, we can't make 6 multiples, but just go ahead and find a multiple of 56. What two numbers would make 56, and then just follow that sequence, that numbers, and do the increases in each interval. Okay, equal interval. So this is how you do your increases. I think 56 would be enough, 56 chains, and you can just go ahead and keep doing your row 12, 13, 14 just by doing one ripped in each, one stitch in on top of one stitch. Okay, one chain, and do 56 stitches throughout your rows. Okay, so and you have to create rows for the length that you desire for your head shape. So it would be, at least it has to be like this shape, this big, and I would say you need to create at least 15 14 or 15 more rows of 50 with 56 rib stitches to make the project. Okay, to finish your project. If you want to lengthen this, just add few more rows. If you want to shorten it, just keep doing few more rows, that's all. And now I'm going to show you if you want to decrease maybe going forward, if you find out that your head is going to be look too big for your head size, so you can do a decrease. So to create a decrease in your rib stitch, I'm going to show you how you can do that. So you don't have to follow this, because I think 56 chains, 56 stitches is perfect for adult size. You don't really have to do decrease, but in case if you feel like you need to do a decrease, this is how you can do your decrease. So you'll start your new row as usual with 3 chain space, and say for example in this next 2 stitches you want to do a decrease. To do a decrease, you'll for rib stitches you'll do it like this. Put your crochet hook like this and wrap the yarn around your crochet hook just once, and go to the next stitch, okay, as if you are doing your usual rib stitch. So put your crochet hook under the stitch and wrap the yarn around and pull up a loop. So you've got 3 loops in your crochet hook. So just don't finish your rib stitch yet. You go back to the you go to the next one, because you want to do a decrease here. You want to, there are 2 stitches, and you want in your next row you want to make only one stitch from these 2 stitches. This is how you do your decreases. So to do that, you go to the next stitch, okay, instead of finishing your rib stitches, you go to the next stitch and wrap the yarn around and pull up another loop. Okay, see, got 4 loops in your crochet hook. Now wrap the yarn around, pull through first 2 loops only, and wrap the yarn around and pull through all the remaining loops. There will be 3 loops. So this is your decrease. So can you see there are 2 stitches here, 2 rib stitches, but in this row 12, from these 2 stitches there are only 1 stitch. This is how you have done your decrease. I'm going to do another this decrease to show you, in case you have got, if you haven't properly got it. So I'm going to show you one more time how to do a decrease. Let's do decrease for these 2 stitches as well. So wrap the yarn around, go to this next next rib stitch and pull up a loop. Okay, don't finish right now. Go to the next rib stitch, put your crochet hook under that and pull up another loop. Okay, so you've got 4 loops in your crochet hook. Wrap the yarn around your crochet hook, pull through only first 2 loops. You have still got 3 loops in your crochet hook. Wrap the yarn around and now pull through all 3 loops. So another decrease is created. Can you see from these 2 rib stitch, you've only got 1 rib stitch in this row, and same happened for the next 2 rows. In next 2 stitches you've only got 1 rib stitch for this row. So this is how you do your decreases, but I would suggest for an adult size head, you don't have to do any decreases. Just go ahead and create 56 56 rib stitches for this row 12, and just go ahead, start with first 3 chain spaces and do 56 rib stitches, and then row 13 the same, start with 3 chain spaces and do 55 ribs stitches. Total it would be 56 when you count this as your first rib stitch. So just go ahead and create as many rows as you need to finish off. I would say you would need at least 10 to 15 more rows to give it a proper length of adult head size. And so just go ahead and keep creating more rows, and I won't see I don't think there would be any need to do any more increases. But if you feel like you want to make your head a bit more bigger size, this way width wise you want it bigger, then you do increases, and lengthwise if you want it bigger longer, then you create more rows. So, and once you finish your doing all the rows, just create 1 more rows of just single crochet. Okay, so let's for example, let's say for example we have finished doing, this is the end of all the rows for my head, and my head is all created. Then for the very last finishing row, I will do single crochet throughout all the chains, 56 chains. And I will start the row by crocheting only 2 chain spaces, because 2 chain spaces equal the size of a single crochet. And then I will move to the next stitch, and I won't do any ribbed for the very last row. After you create all your rows and get the desired amount of length for your head, and then just to go to the do one more last row, and there you crochet begin with begin the row with 2 chain space, and then in the next chain you go to the through the chain space, next chain space, and start crocheting single crochet. Create a single crochet. You put your crochet hook through the chain space, rub the yarn around your crochet hook and pull up a loop. You have 2 loops in your crochet hook, wrap the yarn around and pull through both loops. That's your single crochet. So for the very last row of your head, you will crochet 1 row full of single crochet like this, and there won't be any increase or decrease. You will only crochet on top of 56 chains that you have done previously. Okay, I hope that makes sense, and I hope you enjoyed making this head today. And send me picture of your finished project, and just go ahead and carry on doing more, adding more rows to this project so that it gets bigger, longer. And once you are done, send me the picture of the finished project in our WhatsApp group. And if you have got any question, ask me next in our next class. I will try to answer your question. So, and the next class would be our very last class for this lesson. But I will try to make it like a proper farewell for you all. So this is the end of today's lesson. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for learning this new project with me. I appreciate for your time and effort. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye now.